Okay, so I've started doing some thread work, as you can see in here, and I've actually used, believe it or not, this colour. And it looks darker on the reel because that's what threads do. They always look a lot darker than what they do when you take them out and put them one on one. I haven't quite used this yet. I started to around there and then I changed my mind. So then I'm going to, I also used, oh, it's up here, this one under here. I don't know if you can see that. So there it is there. It's like a beigey colour. And I'm actually going to come back in. I've worked my lighter ones. I'm going to come back in and put a little bit of darker in there because I want the darker in at the base of it. I'm not going to do any more than that. I'm going to leave that open because if I go and stitch all that, then what's the point? Yeah, it's just going to flatten it all. So I don't see a point in it. So now I'm just going to just quickly change this baby. Oops, it does. And I'm only using a straight stitch, and I think I only use straight stitches for all these designs because it just seemed easier than changing stitches with zigzags and stuff like that. Alrighty. So I've already got the two colours already in there, and I've only got the one colour in here. So I'm going to go needle. Notice I just leave the thread loose. I don't actually stress about it being there. And I'm just going to build up some of that darker colour at the base. Now if I want to get rid of that thread, now's the time to do it. I've stitched it in. It's not going anywhere. So at the edges, I can go over that previously stitched line if I want to get rid of it in here. And I'm just doing little small back and forward movements and come up in here. See how it just gives it a little bit more depth. And what I'm doing here is as I come out to the side, you notice I turn to that direction. So I'm making it go at the angle of the petal. So I'm not just coming all the way up straight, I'm actually coming across on an angle and across on an angle there, and I'm travelling up here to get over there. So to do over this side, come up here, just little small movements, just to do that. It doesn't matter if your stitches are long and short, it makes no difference whatsoever. And there you are, then I've filled that out. So if I cut that off, and get into the light, can you see it? So now that to me would be done. I don't want to do any more than that. I think any more than that it's too much, okay? Because I want to keep the colour. There's no point colouring it if I'm going to completely cover it in thread where you can't see it. Yeah, so that's going to look nice. It's going to create a lighter look here and the darker on the inside, which is what I want. So just press pause.
Electric, so you need another.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do the petals on the sunflower, and most people would think you need to have orange or whatever, but I use like a hot pink because it just seemed to accent the inside without it being too orangey. I didn't, because I mean I've already got yellow and I've already got orange in the colour of the fabric, so to add more in it will just make it really glary. So I'm going, have you got foot in or neck up? No, good. Stop. How fast are you going? About halfway? Yeah, that's all right. So just watch that thread doesn't catch up the top there. So what I do is I do it loosely with these, all right? And I actually did cut off and jump to the other because I didn't want a whole heap of pink lines around here, okay? So I just want it to be in the petals. And again, just jump over. Is it catching on that thing? Yes, it is.
Catching them off.
Right there. Yep. Did I get it? Yep. So up here, and you just got to remember the direction of the petal. So we're coming across that way. And as you get smaller, Do you know it's catching on something? It keeps pulling it up, and I'm wondering what it is.
Maybe smaller.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
It's catching on that
that is.
baby. Yep. Sorry. We're just technical error here. Okay. All right, let's try again. So again. And it should, when you do the cut off with these, especially the Brother machines, you should be able to, oh, I'm about to shred, there it is. You should be able to just cut off and then restart stitching, and it should just bury that thread in the guts of it and underneath. So, and because it's an art piece, you don't need to worry as much about the back. I'm just going to cut it off because it's cracked it at me. It's got wrapped around here. Let's just press pause like. Okay, yeah, so we just had to adjust the thread a bit for us. Yeah. Is it caught? Yeah, no. Oh, good. Okay. Okay. So, you know, if you sort of go a bit wobbly like I did then, it's no biggie. It doesn't have to be immaculate. Cut off and keep going to the next one. So, is it being good? Or are you giggling because you're getting your thing done?
I didn't do nothing.
All right, so once you do that and you go all around those, you just do all the one colour, then we stop and we'll change threads. Okay, so I've changed the thread and I'm doing the yellow. So now I'm just, again, you see how the thread just swallowed up there? It doesn't hang around and give you irrits, get in your way. And again, listen to that wind. And I'm just going backwards and forwards, so I get to there, pause, stop, cut off, and then move over to the next one, and I take the thread out. I've got that one thread annoying me, it has all the time, ever since we started. Get. So I make sure, see how that front thread there, I want to make sure that it's in front of the needle. If it's in front of the foot, then when I stitch, see how it just disappears?
Yeah.
If I have it at the back underneath, it'll hang there. I'll have all these little threads I have to cut off. Okay, and then you just stop, cut off. Move over to the next one, move it forward. If you find that's too dark in the centre there, just put a bit of yellow in and lighten it up a bit. Okay, oops, bit of a jump, miss. Okay, so I'll just cut that off and show you. So that then gives it a little bit more texture. Okay,
Cool.
Can you see that? Oh yeah, it looks really good in the camera. Have a look at that, Leslie. So without it, it doesn't look, I mean, the camera makes it look really bright. It's not as bright as all that, but at least you can see you've got the shade from the dark to a light, but without a whole heap in the middle.
Yeah.
Because your background's doing that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Very nice.
So, it's very
Pebbles
nice.
there, Leslie.
Nice pebbles, Leslie. It's very nice. So we'll go and have a talk about the turtle.